Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Leah, and if you don't know me already, I just want to let you know that I am an actress and I do a lot of videos like this about my acting career, including my steady acting gig every week and sometimes during the week, which is performing as a Disney princess for parties and events. So if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe and hang out with us. We would love to have you in our little YouTube family here. Anybody else go to Chipotle today? I've been wanting to do an episode of Confessions of an Actress, which is what I'm calling this series about my acting career, for a long time, about what jobs I did or what jobs I booked at the end of 2016, because I kind of slacked off with filming, and then I realized that I really wanted to kind of frame it around the idea that failing is actually one of the best things that you can do. It really does teach you something, and that ends up usually being more valuable than succeeding at the thing you were trying to succeed at, if that makes any sense at all. This is a lesson that I learned years ago that I've learned again in my life, but especially with what happened the last few months of this year, or the past year, I really learned it over again, and it ended up being more true than ever. A few months ago, I auditioned for something, and I've talked about this many times on my channel already. It was something that I wanted more than anything. It was a play that I've loved for a long time. It's a play that if you get to be in this play, it will be one of the greatest roles you've ever played. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're performing it for 3 dogs on the street. It's still going to be one of the greatest performances and experiences that you have as an actor. I had practiced beforehand, but then literally the weekend before this audition, it was on a Monday, I spent every waking hour working on this character, on this play, and I worked harder preparing for this audition than I've worked for any role, even roles that I actually got. Like, I worked harder than I ever have before. And I don't know if you guys have had the experience where you're a hard worker anyway, but then something drives you to work even harder, and then you're like, oh wait, this is what I should have been doing the whole time. Like, I should be working on everything this hard. I should be busting my ass until I can't sleep at night because I have to get up and do more. Like, I know that's probably not healthy. I didn't get the part, as I've said many times. I think that not getting that part inspired me to do so much more with my time and really kind of aggressively go after things in a way that I hadn't before. Right after that audition, and I vlogged about this too, I had 4 auditions in 1 week, like 4 separate auditions for 4 separate things, which I don't think has ever happened before. I am not the kind of person that believes in everything happens for a reason. I hate that saying. I hate cliche sayings. I hate when you're going through something and someone says to you, oh, you know, when one door closes, another one opens. I just feel like it's such a lazy way of trying to be nice and help someone. It's like, come up with something original or specific to that person. Don't just generalize a cliche in their face. Like, sometimes when one door closes, another door doesn't open. Sometimes you have to claw the door down with your bloody, stubby fingers. Like, you know what I mean? That's just how life is. But the fact that I didn't get this show, it sent me on a different path, because if I had gotten the show, that would have been amazing. Trust me, I wanted it more than anything. But during that show, I wouldn't even have auditioned for other things, because I would have wanted to dedicate everything to the character. I would have wanted to dedicate everything to the show, and I would have had so much less going on than I have going on now. So after that failure, like I said, I went on 4 auditions in 1 week, and then I just kept it going with all the auditions and meeting with different people and really fighting and doing everything I could, because I felt like there was some kind of void in the universe, and I don't remember actually having that thought, but looking back, I feel like when you don't get something that you really want, it's like just instinctually, I had this thing inside me where I was like, well, I have to fill that void. Like, there's a void left from me not doing that play, and now I'm gonna fill it with other things, and what I ended up filling it with has been amazing. So I got a part on the show A Crime to Remember, which is a show on Investigation Discovery about true crime. I booked a bunch of short films, but I actually could not do most of them because of my scheduling conflicts, which was really disappointing because I'm trying to build up my reel. But I did get to do one, which was awesome because it was just me and another girl starring in it. Then I actually booked a part in a horror movie. I love horror movies, so I'm super excited about that. And it's not like a big movie, it's like a little indie movie being produced out of New Jersey, but the director's so passionate about it, and I was basically supposed to just be an extra with like a few lines, but when I got the script, I guess he wrote a lot more after meeting me, and that was amazing because now I have a pretty good role, and it's a very different character. It's a female gang member. So I'm like, really? I'm a princess. You know, that's how a lot of people will pigeonhole me as like that. But I'm like, okay, I could be a gang member. Hey, I'm gonna really work on this character. It's really gonna be interesting. And then I got to perform in an improv comedy show with my friends in this group that I've performed in now this was the 4th time. And we got to do it the week after the election, or the week literally like the Friday after the election. We got to perform it, and it was so great to just like bring laughter to people. I mean, I feel like even if your candidate won, it's like people were so sick of that election, and so we left the 2 candidates out of the comedy completely and just tried to create an atmosphere where people could just laugh for an hour and a half and have fun, and we did that. And that's what I want to do with my life. You know, I want to tell stories and create an escape for people and make them feel all the things, and just to, you know, that's how I want to be of service to the world. I don't know. I hope I get to do that with my life. That's what it's all about. And then lastly, the most exciting thing for me actually is this web series that I booked. I auditioned and they were like, you know, we've thought of this character so differently, but you've humanized her, because they wrote her as kind of like a bitchy, like unlikable character. But they really loved what I did with her, and it was like one of the best callbacks I've ever had. And I basically ended up finding out that they wrote a whole new role for me because they were so impressed with my performance, but they actually really did want that character to be more of like the bitchy girl than what I was bringing to the table. But they didn't want to let me go, so they wrote a new role for me. So I have my own custom role, which I feel like is like a rite of passage for actors. Like, you know, John Hughes wrote 16 Candles for Molly Ringwald. He had a picture of her on his bulletin board over his desk. And this is the same thing as that, obviously, the exact same thing. So the other thing that I really learned from this situation is that I worked so hard on the characters that when I went in and auditioned, I knew how well I had done. And I felt like it was really just out of my hands. Sometimes I go into auditions, and I went on one recently. It was a lead role in a short film, and I didn't work as hard as I could have worked on it before I went in. And so when I didn't get it, I was like, yeah, of course I didn't get it. Like, I could have worked harder, and I basically wasted my time and these people's time. I'm sure I still did better than a lot of people because I'm a good actress, but I could have done it better, and I saw those holes in my rehearsing. So I think that when you work that hard, even if you don't get the part, it's like you're kind of giving yourself insurance because you know how hard you worked. I know how much I connected with these characters. These characters have been ever present in my work for the past few months after because I learned so much from them. I learned so much from the play. I learned so much from eating, sleeping, and breathing these characters. I learned about myself. I learned about human beings. So it's like, yes, I didn't get the part, but did I really fail? Did I really fail? Like, yes, I failed at getting the part and I failed at being in the show. But did I really fail on a grand scale? No. After all, I don't feel that I did. I took action and I worked as hard as I could. So that's my advice, is that if you work as hard as you can work on something and then you still don't get it, at least you have that insurance. At least you know how hard you worked on it. You don't have to go back and have regrets and say, I could have worked harder. The other thing is that because my audition was a theater audition, I had a lot of my friends in the room. They were also auditioning. And before the audition, I was practicing with a bunch of different people. There was a husband and wife scene, and every guy in there, I was like, you want to practice with me? You want to practice with me? Because I didn't know who the director was going to pair me up with for the audition, and I wanted to practice with every single person. I was so thorough with this, you guys. I was like not messing around. I was like, I am getting this. Like the amount of people that rallied behind me when I didn't get into this play, like my one friend was like, I'm never doing a show there again because you didn't get that. Another friend was like, you were so phenomenal that I asked the director, like, why on earth are you not casting this girl? And then about a month later, a friend said to me, I had practiced with him in the hallway outside of the audition, and he said, you moved me so much just in our little side of the room rehearsal that I actually had to take a moment and like just take a moment because it really brought up some stuff for me. And it was just like, you were so amazing that you really got the character in that, you know, second that you just walked up to me and said, hey, let's practice. Like, you really got it. And I was like, wow. When you hear those kinds of things from people and you know that you moved someone, it's like, that's what we're trying to do as artists. And the fact that like I didn't get to do that on stage in front of hundreds of people, that sucks. But just knowing that like my friends got to have that experience from me, like even that made me feel better. And if I had just kind of like gone in and did the audition, I doubt my friends would have said things like that. I mean, yes, they're my friends. They like me. They love me. They're gonna say, like, you were great. But I got so many specific reactions that people wanted to come up and tell me how good I was and how much I moved them, that it was just, I just feel like I got so much out of this failure. Like, I feel like I got so many good things that came from it that in the end, I'm actually just really happy that things went the way that they did. Plays get revived all the time. I'm hoping that someday I will get to perform this play and be one of these characters. If not, the stuff that I'm gonna do in its place is gonna be great. I guess I will wrap this up now. I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching and remind you guys to never give up. I don't care what it is. I don't care if your career has nothing to do with show business or if you're an actor too. Just don't give up and don't let your failures define you. Don't let them crush you. If you blow it, if you don't do well, if you don't work hard enough, if you just don't make it, at something, please keep going. Please keep trying and don't ever give up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you are subscribed. If you're not, please subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much. Bye!